Hey guys, it's Austin here, and today we're going to be doing a little review on Sega's most popular console ever, and one of my favorites of the 16-bit revolution, the Sega Genesis. Now, the Sega Genesis is amazing. I think it's great. Um, Even though at the time most consoles in 1989 were kind of using mono sound instead of stereo, there's a little cool trick you can do. I think everyone knows it these days. Considering this is a headphone jack, it's also a stereo output, so do whatever you want with that information. On the back here, it supports RF channel 3 and 4. If you don't know RF, that's that old channel system where you went to channel 3 and then channel 4 to try to connect a radio frequency signal, stuff like that. Then there's the AV port and the power adapter. Now, when you're buying a Sega Genesis, you gotta be careful. You cannot buy Model 2 cables for the Model 1 Sega Genesis, which kind of sucks, but that's okay. It's also got a different power adapter, but there's an upside to this at least, with these two ports kind of being the same on the Sega Master System. They are literally the same ports. You can use both of them. You can unhook a Master System and plug in the Genesis just like that. So simple. It takes only 2 seconds. Easy, quick, and clean. Now, the Genesis, I think is probably one of the best systems of the 16-bit revolution. I'm not saying it's the better one out of the TurboGrafx 16 or the Super Nintendo. I'm not saying this is the better one. I'm just saying this is probably one of the best in my opinion. So take that information as you would like. Now, I'm going to talk about a game that is kind of well known. Well, very well known on the Sega Genesis, and that is Sonic. It's probably my favorite game on the Genesis. Oh wait, I don't know. This is probably the best game that you will get on the Genesis, and also the cheapest and easiest one to find. But to me, this is not my favorite. My favorite is Virtual Racing. Now, granted, Virtual Racing for the original Genesis using the SVP chip is not the best, but for some reason I like it the most. I don't know why. It's just, there's something about it that makes me like it more. But no, Virtual Racing launched at $100 mainly because of the SVP chip. This just showed that Sega could do what Nintendo could also with the FX chip, like with Star Fox and Stunt Racer FX and all that stuff. But they couldn't keep up with it because it wasn't practical. So that's why we got the 32X Virtual Racing Deluxe and Doom. I would pick the 32X version. But pick this up as a novelty. It's kind of cheap. It's really good. Now, when they came out with the Genesis, they came out with a new controller. The Batwing controller, as some people will call it. The 3-button controller. Now, in case you're wondering, I have a box right here of the Sega Genesis. This is probably one of the best things in my collection. I actually got this in box, and it still works. I got this earlier in late 2020, around December, so I bought this. But this is the one that came included with Sonic the Hedgehog. This was the $50 one that you would get. A very, very great thing. Like, their marketing campaign was amazing. Sega does what Nintendo don't, and it doesn't make sense at first, but either way, it's still pretty cool. I like the slogan. It's pretty catchy. Now on the back, it's got the add-on for the Sega CD right here. It's talking about the controllers, the Menacer light gun, the arcade stick for the 3-button. Now granted, I do not, for the life of me, have a 6-button controller. Which kind of sucks. I mean, I have one of those terrible, cruddy at games 6-button controllers, which works. but it's not reliable. I hate them. They work, but they suck. They really suck. The buttons suck. The pause button sucks. Even the D-pad sucks. It sucks balls. So if you want a 6-button controller, just get one on eBay. Don't even try going third party. Because my third party route sucks on almost everything. Not everything, but almost everything. Now, going back to the 3-button controller, I really like this controller. At first, when you're holding it, you're like, it's too big, man. You gotta have giant hands for this. I got giant hands for this. And this, I actually really like this controller. But sadly, it's not practical with the fighting games and all that stuff. Which kind of blows. What killed Sega was the 32X, not the Sega CD, as some people would like to dispute that today. It was the 32X. I don't have the 32X at the moment, so I can't really show you anything. I can't show you what it is. I can't show you any of the games. But I can tell you I have played emulators of it in the 32X. It's a bit of a hit or miss. I can say that much for sure, but that's all I'm going to say. But I want to talk about games. We're here to talk about games. We're here to talk about retro systems. But like I said, Sonic is my favorite game. So is Virtua Fighter. And probably the coolest thing that you will probably run into with the Sega Genesis is the best games are the lesser known ones, and I am quoting this from a YouTuber, Adam Koralik. I'll leave his channel link in the description. He deserves a shout out. He's right though about the lesser games being the better ones, the lesser known ones, I mean. And for me, that has to start with Miss Pac-Man. I mean, come on, it's Pac-Man. What are you gonna do? I mean, I'm a big fan of Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man, so I had to pick it up. Then there's Frogger, the Jeopardy, and Wheel of Fortune games, which you can get for like $2. I don't have those because I don't like those games, but I've played it on emulators. The Jeopardy game sucks, while the Wheel of Fortune game, you can just sit there and just play by yourself. You can choose to play by yourself with another player on the console, or you can play by yourself, no NPCs, no contestants, just by yourself. And then, shortly after we got Sonic, after it being so freaking good, we got Sonic 2. Granted, I think Sonic 2 is one of the better ones, but for some reason, I just like Sonic 1 a little more. Granted, what they did, the only thing they did with Sonic 2 was make the stages shorter. You now have a buddy with you, Tails. He doesn't do anything. He just grabs extra rings for you. And you got this cool, somewhat 3D effect in the game, which even now I think is amazing for early 3D. You got Sonic and Tails being in the race for a goal, for 2-ring collector. You collect rings, you gotta collect a certain amount, and then you get a Chaos Emerald. There's 2-player competitive. It's a pain, but it's fun. Really good game. All the Sonic games are good. Now, probably the most notorious game that really nobody knows much about or likes is Sonic 3. Now, Sonic 3 is half of a game, but half of a really long one. And the reason for that is because of something known as Sonic and Knuckles. New lock-on. Play Sonic and Knuckles or connect with the other Sonic games. Now, granted, Sonic and Knuckles only works... it works as its own game, and that's pretty cool. It works for Sonic 3 and makes it into a huge 34 megabit game cart. I'm not even sure. Then you lock it on with Sonic 2, and you will be able to get to play as Sonic. You can't go into options to change that. I will show you how this works. This was how DLC was basically done in the 90s. Sonic and Knuckles is its own cartridge, obviously, as you can see. It's got a flap up here. Now, here's what we do. Take your regular Genesis, take Sonic and Knuckles. Now, let's say you beat Sonic and Knuckles, but you also want to beat Sonic 3, but you know that's not the full game. We take out Sonic 3, and we put it in the Sonic and Knuckles game cartridge. And suddenly, boom, there is new content. This was how DLC was done in the 90s. And this is pretty cool. I think this is pretty cool. I actually think that it's amazing. It's I don't know. I just like it. I think it's a pretty cool feature that they came up with, and a beautiful one also. Sega. It just goes on to show that Sega had amazing game designs and, like, not game designs, but they had amazing ideas, but kind of screwed up the execution a little bit. And that's kind of what their add-on history is, I talked about a minute ago. And kind of the same with Virtual Racing for the Genesis using the SVP chip, which kind of sucks, but oh well, there's not much you can do. But either way, I would recommend picking up all the Sonic games. If you can get them without the boxes, without them being complete with the manuals and everything, you'll get them for dirt cheap, just about. You'll get them for a really low price. With Sonic and Knuckles, that's kind of a different thing. That's kind of a little bit more expensive. Sonic 2, you can literally go online, like Luki Games, and get it for $5. Not even. And it's so worth it. But that's what Sega was. They had amazing ideas, but screwed it up. That's really all I can say. One other thing is the game Genie. And one thing that Sega did that Nintendo did not like was the Game Genie. Now, the Game Genie is a cheat device, which Nintendo didn't like. It was being used on the original Nintendo, and they sued them and lost. And then Sega was like, people really like this Game Genie. How about we officially license it? And that's what they did. They officially licensed it to piss off Nintendo. Now, in the box, you have a booklet. You got a bunch of stuff in it. Got cheat codes, depending on what game it is. It's pretty cool. And then, as I take it out, the game is, or not the game, the game Genie kind of works like Sonic and Knuckles does with its attachment thing. As you can see, you put a cartridge on top of here like you do on here. Now, it's kind of like this. I'm just going to use Virtual Racing as an example, if it'll fit. Well, it should fit at least. Mine is so old that it barely works. As you can see, you attach it like this, and it says Sega Genesis, so it's officially licensed. And that is pretty cool. I don't really tend to use the Game Genie a lot these days. It's more of a novelty item. But either way, it's pretty cool. But anyways, guys, that's it about the Sega Genesis. That's really all I have to say about it. Granted, I don't have a lot of games, but I will do a review of every game that I own. Now, this was not every game I own. I preferably like Sonic. I preferably like the Sonic series over any other series on the Genesis. I don't know why, but it's just how it is for me. It's the mascot. I love Sonic. I don't know why. And one game I forgot to mention that I love, but people kind of get wrapped in the mouth and are kind of scared for saying it out loud that they love this game is Sonic Spinball. I love pinball games, and I especially love this one. This one has a very cool feel to it. It's amazing. But it's really pinball, but it's Sonic. I mean, that's basically it. What else is there to it? But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I really do hope that you did enjoy this video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me your favorite game in the comments. And yeah, that's it. Like, subscribe, tell me your favorite game, and tell me what I should do next. What should I review? See you guys later.